Well, hello and welcome to Drum the Drocket in the simply spectacular Scottish Highlands. Now, I'm super excited about this video because this weekend I'm taking part in the Creative Light Photography Festival that's been organised by Margaret Soraya. I'm here as a participant, but I'm also going to do a talk tomorrow afternoon as well about the joys of video making and vlogging and how it can help people to connect with their creativity, but also to help them find a voice. So I'm super excited for that. But I thought it would be interesting also to create a vlog about this weekend to share the experience with you all, because this festival is every single thing that I believe in. It's about getting a group of like-minded people together to share ideas, to learn from each other, to have a collective shared experience. And the buzz, we have literally just got back from the welcome meal, and the buzz in that restaurant tonight was like nothing I have felt for quite a long time. The energy is simply electric. And meeting all of these new people and bringing everybody from all over the country and even some countries abroad together to share this experience, it's going to be amazing. So tomorrow morning I'm going to get up nice and early, and the first workshop that I'm going to take part in is with Justine Ritchie, and it's all about mindful photography and forest bathing. So right up my street. I'm super excited to take part in that, and I'm super excited to share what comes out of it and the experience with you all. So I hope you enjoy this video, because this, I think, is the future. Community, collaboration, beautiful groups of people sharing ideas, coming together and helping each other to relax, unwind, connect with nature and connect with our creativity. Oh, what is more beautiful than that? Let the weekend begin. Oh my goodness, what an incredible day today has been. Like, genuinely, today has been absolutely amazing. As I said last night before I went to bed, this morning I was taking part in a workshop run by Justine Ritchie, which was about forest bathing and mindful photography. And I found it so eye-opening. As many of you will know, I already do a lot of mindful photography and I love bathing in nature. But to actually go on a workshop run by somebody else and be a participant in that and be able to step back and be guided to do different practices and different techniques, I found it so beautiful. You know, when I woke up this morning, I didn't feel particularly well. I felt very anxious as well. But within 15 minutes of being in the forest, I just began to feel better. I began to feel grounded. I began to feel at one with nature and the world around me. And then from there, to be able to go on and do creativity through photography, it was just beautiful. But what I think I really took from that workshop was just really allowing yourself to restrain yourself with regards to getting your camera out, but in a very positive way, because it was all about immersing yourself, bathing in the woodland and the beautiful environment before you then get your camera out. So you feel truly connected to it. You already have an idea of what you want to shoot, and therefore you don't go all snappy happy when you're out, you know, with your camera just photographing anything that comes your way. It was about really ensuring that you tuned into that environment before you started taking your images, which I just thought was beautiful. And we used this card here to frame our images, to be our own camera within the landscape. And it really opened up new photographic opportunities. And I am planning on making a video about this card because I have found it totally eye-opening today. So that workshop was incredible, and tomorrow I'm taking part in a workshop run by Charlotte Bellamy, which is about ICM and multiple exposures. And I've never done multiple exposures before, so I'm super, super excited to do that. And really the main message I want to get across that I found today is the real beauty of being a part of a group of like-minded people and learning from each other, and taking that time for yourself to step back, to try new things, to learn new things, and to just be around positive, uplifting people. These beautiful communities, these beautiful festivals, these beautiful gatherings of people are going to become, I feel, a much bigger thing moving forwards. And to be able to be at one of these events right now is just incredible. And this afternoon we were greeted to some wonderful talks. We had a talk from Charlotte Bellamy about ICM and multiple exposure. Justine Ritchie as well spoke about her very remote cottage in the Scottish Highlands that she's currently doing up. I did a talk about finding your voice through videography and vlogging. And we also had a very interesting Q&A session with Anna Deacon, who has written many wild swimming books about Scotland. So a real diversity of people and subjects all coming together to share knowledge, to share abilities, to share visions. That's what today's all been about. It's been that shared collective of visions. This festival is amazing, and I am so excited to see what tomorrow has in store, because day one has been unforgettable. Oh my goodness, so day one was amazing, and day two was equally as incredible. Yesterday was one of these days that was really transformative for me, and I want to share this with you because I'm hoping that it's going to help you in your own journey. Basically, yesterday was like one of these days where you start to really look at yourself and look at your creativity and look at how you voice or how you speak about what you do, why you do it, why you love it, and just the wording that you use to portray what you do. I found yesterday really opened me up to so many new ideas that I think are really going to help me moving forwards with my own confidence, my own self-belief in my work, and also the messaging that I want to get across to anybody that comes across me in my work. It's funny, we live in this world, and a few people have spoken about this weekend, about the language of photography. And we live in this world where we're constantly speaking about this very sort of predatory language in photography. We talk about shooting things, we talk about capturing things, we talk about taking things, taking photographs, shooting photographs, capturing photographs. These are all very dominant predatory language. But really this festival is making us realise that as photographers, we're not capturing anything, we're connecting with things. We're not shooting things, we are interacting with things. We are creating images. That's what we're doing, we're creating images while we're interacting with the landscape and connecting with our subject matters. It's about that receiving the light, receiving the information, receiving the inspiration. And I think a lot of people this weekend are going to be changing the language they use around photography as a result. And it's also yesterday, which I think is a really interesting thing to think about, because somebody made the point the other day that when we use this language, the predatory language, it can be quite triggering for some people. And I guess it can maybe put some people off maybe doing photography because of the language that we use around it. So it's something interesting for you guys to maybe think about, because we've all been definitely thinking about this weekend. But yesterday was one of these creative days which made me realise, which is something I've spoken about for so long now, but it made me realise that there is no right or wrong way to do photography. There never has been. And when people sit down and say things like, this is how you do photography, this is the settings you have to use, this is the gear you have to use, like, it's not true. Like, you don't actually need anything other than a camera to do photography. And all the other tools are available to us. It's a choice of whether we decide to use them or not, which is so beautiful. And yesterday I went on an ICM, a multiple exposure workshop that was run by Charlotte Bellamy. Now I've been doing ICM now for just over a year, but I learnt new techniques yesterday on that workshop, and I tried new things, both different settings and different movements that I've never tried before. And I was delighted with the results, and I'm going to share some of those images with you now. And then after that, we did some multiple exposures, and I've never done multiple exposures before. So when we were out doing that, I found it just opened up a whole new avenue of creative expression. It allows you to include different elements of the landscape around you in one image, and it's bringing together different forms of creativity and allowing you to create these beautiful images that almost look like tapestries or paintings or drawings. And it's amazing because I think there's so many people are are unsure of ICM and multiple exposures, but see, when you start playing around with it, if you're a creative person, it can really speak to you because it can allow you to create images that you cannot create in one image. And it allows you to put a whole story together in one beautiful photograph, which I think is just so powerful. And it's really made me think further about my own work and what I maybe want to do moving forwards, which was amazing. One thing that really spoke to me yesterday was a talk that was done by Paul Sanders. Now, Paul is a fantastic photographer who speaks a lot about mindfulness and about being still in the landscape. And his talk yesterday was so inspiring because he was really drumming it into us that there is no right or wrong way to do photography. That when we go out with our cameras, it's about tuning into the world around us. It's about photographing what we are drawn to, which is something that I speak about a lot on this channel, but there's still something within me that makes me think, I'm drawn to this, and I feel really connected to it. But then I doubt it because I worry about what other people will think about what I'm photographing. But he was saying, does it matter? You know, if your first thought when you go and take a photograph is, what will my camera club think of it? Or what will my family think of it? Or in my case, I think, what will my YouTube audience think of it? You know, it's stopping us from fully embracing that moment and fully photographing what our heart and our soul feels drawn to. And it just clicked something within me that I think is going to change my work, my photography, my voice, and my channel moving forwards. I feel now like I have the confidence to fully be me, which I always have been for years, but it's like it's not about what other people think, it's about what my truth is and what I would like to share with you guys to inspire you to find your own truth. And I've been trying to put all this together now for a few years, but there was something missing for me that I feel yesterday with that ICM and multiple exposures workshop and the beautiful talk from Paul has really helped me with. And today is the final day of this festival, and I am so excited because this morning I'm doing a workshop about self-compassion and creativity with a wonderful woman called KJ from California, who I've had the delight of getting to know this weekend. And I feel her knowledge as a psychotherapist and a coach and her creativity knowledge, all bringing that together in this workshop, it's going to really be a fundamental element in really forming my future mindset when it comes to creativity that's building on what happened yesterday. So I'm so excited for that today. This festival has been incredible, and I am so hoping that I can get another ticket next year because I think it's changed me. It's changed me, it's changed my creativity, and I want to really throw that out there to you guys. If you're really struggling with your own photography, your own creativity, one of the best things you can do is get out there and attend an event. Whether it's a workshop, whether it's a festival, whether it's a tour, or whether it's just like a collection of people coming together to collaborate, to work together. There is literally workshops, courses, festivals out there now, no matter what your photographic interests are. It's about trying to find one that fits you. So look at the language, look at the people that are going, look at the speakers, look at the hosts. And if you really connect with those hosts and those speakers, you know that is the festival, the workshop, the course for you. And when you go there, you meet people, you make new friends, you make new connections, you are inspired, and it just kickstarts your creativity. And it can allow you to meet people that will become a part of your life forever, which is so incredibly beautiful. So if Margaret, if you're watching this, thank you so much for putting this festival together, because it's been life-changing, not just for me, but for every single person that has attended this weekend. Now, let the third and final day begin. I am so excited. It's now 2 days after the festival. I didn't film anything on the final day because it was the last day and I wanted to spend as much time with these amazing people that I'd spent the weekend with as possible. And then I travelled home that evening and then just went straight to bed. But I'm sitting here right now reflecting on the final day, and just like the first few days, it was amazing. And for me, being able to do a workshop about self-compassion and creativity was the perfect way to end the weekend. I'd been out doing these photography workshops and listening to these talks, and then to be able to go inside and do one of these masterclasses indoors in this beautiful place with this lovely view outside of the trees and the sun streaming in. It was actually, once again, a very life-changing experience. So what KJ got us to do was she had all these materials laid out and we did this visualization activity where we had to imagine ourselves back as we were as a child, as we were when we were 6 or 7 years old. At that period of your childhood where you're starting to develop yourself and starting to explore yourself and explore the world. And it brought you right back to remembering, who are you really? What really are your interests? And what is it as a child that we went out and did when we had some spare time? Bringing us back really to our innate and genuine selves. It was really powerful. It was, like an art therapy sort of session within a group, and it was so beautiful. I'm not going to share with you what I created because it's very personal, but it really touched me. And then to be in this group where everybody was sharing their own experiences of what came up for them too, I think it was a great ending point for the weekend to kind of take us back off into our lives with this very clear vision about who we actually are, and allowing us to reconnect with that child that so many of us lose the connection to as we get older. So that was the morning, and in the afternoon there was talks by Bill Ward and Mark Littlejohn, who are both very well-known photographers in the UK and who have won many awards for their images too. And the main message that came out of those two talks was being individual. There is no right or wrong way to do photography, and once again photographing what we are drawn to as individuals. And it was so empowering to see two very acclaimed photographers speak very openly about this. Our photography journey is not about copying others or about doing what we feel we should do or what people tell us to do. It's about connecting with what we love, experimenting with our photography, expressing ourselves. And these photographers have gone on to win awards and be acclaimed in the field purely for the simple reason that they are themselves and they are expressing themselves through their camera in the way that works for them. And that's really where I want to end this video. This weekend was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Community is very important in life. We all need connection, and finding connection with like-minded people is the best thing we can do to allow ourselves to feel accepted and to find a festival or a community or an event where we're likely to meet those people is such a positive thing for us to do. Because even us introverts, which the vast majority of people at that festival are introverts, I would say, it's important to come together and have those moments with others, to share, that you can then go away back into your quiet little world and implement what you've learnt. Also, the weekend really drummed in the importance of creativity. Creativity is so incredibly healing, and when we combine that with nature, the beautiful natural world, it becomes so much more powerful. Creativity, nature, put them together, so healing. It brings us back to ourselves, brings us back to our soul, helps us uncover our purpose, and more importantly, helps us uncover our own personal voices. And that weekend certainly did that for us all. So beautiful. So thank you once again to Margaret Soraya for putting the festival on, and I cannot wait for next year's one. And in my own personal work, if you like what I've been speaking about in this video I have just released dates for some of my photography breaks on the Moray coast next year, one in March and one in October. So if you'd like to come for a long weekend in the beautiful, relaxing Moray coast with your camera and connect with nature and express yourself in whatever way you feel you'd like to using your camera, you can now book your spot on those workshops. What a weekend! I genuinely feel like the Creative Light Festival 2022 has given me some incredibly positive things to take away. As always, I want to say a huge thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time.